Okay, so let's talk about something we've all struggled with, right? Why is it that some habits seem to stick, while others just fall apart after a week? Well, today we're going to crack open the ideas in James Clear's incredible book, Atomic Habits, to figure out the secret to how tiny, almost invisible changes can lead to some truly remarkable results. You totally know this feeling. You decide, okay, this is it. This is the year I'm going to exercise every day, or maybe I'm finally going to learn Spanish. But a few weeks in, that fire you had just kind of fizzles out and you're right back where you started. It is so frustrating. But what if I told you the problem isn't your willpower? What if it's not about you at all? And this, right here, is the big, liberating idea of the whole book. The reason we fail isn't because we're not motivated enough or disciplined enough. Nope. It's because we're using the wrong system for change. So the goal isn't to force yourself to be better, it's to build a better system. Let's dig into what that means. So the very first piece of this new system is this beautifully simple idea, the incredible power of just making tiny, tiny improvements. We're not talking about a massive overnight life transformation here. We're talking about something way smaller, something that seems almost insignificant.
That's it, just 1%. I know it doesn't sound like much, does it? But get this, if you can get just 1% better each day, by the time a year is up, you'll be nearly 38 times better than when you started. It's so easy to just dismiss these little improvements, but they really are the atoms that build our entire lives.
This is where that magic of compounding kicks in. Think about it like a savings account. A tiny bit of interest doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but you let it sit there, and over time, it grows into a fortune. Well, your habits work the exact same way, for good habits and, yeah, for the bad ones too. Okay, so now we get the why, right? The power of these small compounding habits. But what about the how? How do we actually do this stuff? Well, this is where the book gives us this incredibly practical and really powerful framework for kind of engineering our own behavior. It's called the 4 Laws of Change. Seriously, this table is basically the entire playbook in one spot. And what's so brilliant about it is that these 4 laws are this super simple dual-purpose system. You can use them to build up the good habits, and then you just flip them on their head, and you can use the exact same logic to break your bad ones.
The first law is all about designing your environment. So if you want to start running in the morning, don't hide your shoes in the closet. Make them the very first, most obvious thing you see. And hey, if you want to eat less junk food, make it invisible. Shove it in the back of a cabinet you never open. It's amazing how much out of sight, out of mind really works.
So the second law is all about desire. You can actually make a habit more attractive by pairing something you need to do with something you really want to do. It's a neat trick called temptation bundling, and it's a fantastic way to get your brain to actually look forward to doing the hard stuff.
Let's be honest, we're all kind of wired to take the path of least resistance. So Law 3 is all about using that to our advantage. The key is to reduce the friction, the number of steps between you and your good habits. And for bad habits, you guessed it. Do the exact opposite. Increase that friction. Make them as inconvenient as you possibly can. And finally, we have the 4th law, which is basically the golden rule of changing your behavior. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Our brains are wired for instant gratification. So you have to give yourself a small, immediate win right after you do your habit. That little hit of satisfaction is what tells your brain, hey, let's do that again tomorrow.
Now those 4 laws, they are absolutely fantastic for changing your actions. But if you want that change to really truly stick for good, we've got to go one level deeper. We need to shift from changing what we do to changing who we believe we are.
And this difference is so important. See, most of us set outcome-based goals, but the most powerful way to think about it is to focus on your identity. So don't just aim to run a marathon, aim to become a runner. The goal isn't just to write a book, it's to become a writer. It's a small change in words, but it is a massive shift in how you see yourself. Because here's the thing, when a habit becomes part of your identity, you're not fighting for it anymore. You're just being you. Every little action you take, like putting on your running shoes, becomes a vote for the type of person you want to be. You're just acting like the person you already see yourself becoming.
So this is all great in theory, but where do you actually start, right? How do you cast that very first vote for a new identity, especially when it feels so far away? Well, the answer, once again, is to start ridiculously small.
And this is the 2-minute rule. It is designed to tackle the biggest reason we fail at new habits, just getting started. The idea is to shrink any new habit down so that it can be done in 120 seconds or less. You make it so easy, it's basically impossible to say no. And here's exactly what that looks like. Read before bed isn't the habit is read one page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. You see, you're not aiming for the full, perfect habit yet. You are just mastering the art of showing up. You're building this tiny little gateway habit that naturally leads to the bigger one. Because hey, anyone can put on their running shoes, right? And once they're on, well, you're already halfway there.
And that's really the heart of it all. The real power isn't just knowing these ideas, it's putting them into action. So I'll leave you with this question. What is one tiny, 1%, 2-minute change you can make today to cast a vote for the person you want to become?